underway.
Stella Creasy.
Question number 1.
Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this morning I had meetings with ministerial colleagues and others, and in addition to my duties in this House, I shall have further such meetings later today.
Stella Creasy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Our allies are warning of a dangerous gap between us and America on this. So can the Prime Minister tell us, for the next Parliament, what is more important to him, protecting our armed forces or introducing tax cuts?
What is important is combining economic security and national security, and the two go together. We inherited a £38 billion black hole in our defence budget, and because of the excellent stewardship of the economy by this Chancellor and this government, we've filled that gap. We're investing in defence, our economy is strong and our country is safe.
Mr. James Arbuthnot.
Is my right honourable friend aware that in the Post Office mediation scheme, the Post Office has just sacked the independent investigators, Second Sight, and told them to destroy all their papers? Does my right honourable friend agree that it is essential that the Second Sight's second report should not be suppressed, but should be supplied to sub-postmasters and MPs, starting with the Honourable Member for West Bromwich West and the Biz Select Committee?
I think my right honourable friend makes a very important point. I know he's consistently raised concerns by some sub-postmasters about the operation of the Post Office IT system and the Post Office mediation scheme. It's an issue the Business Select Committee is currently taking evidence on, and they should be given all the relevant information. While the government should not interfere with the independent mediation process, I will ask the Business Secretary to write to him about this concern and make sure the Business Committee can do its job properly.
Mr. Ed Miliband.
Mr. Speaker, less than 2 months ago, the Prime Minister said in this House he wanted a head-to-head debate between me and him. He said it was game on. When did he lose his nerve?
I've said to him, if he wants a debate, I've offered a date. The week starting the 23rd of March. Why won't he say yes to it?
Speaker, I'm going to be at the debates. I'm going to be at the debates set by the broadcasters on April the 2nd and 16th. But I'm asking him about the two-way debate between him and me. Now, Mr. Speaker, the original proposal for the two-way debate didn't come from me, it didn't come from the broadcasters, it came from him, Mr. Speaker. He said this: I've suggested we need a debate where the two people who could actually be Prime Minister directly debate each other. If there was a good proposal then, there's a good proposal now, why doesn't he just name the day?
Prime Minister.
He said any time, any place, anywhere. I've told him the 23rd of March, let's hold that debate. But I'll tell him what has changed. We've now got a situation where it's obvious Labour can't win without the SNP. He says we need the two leaders. We need the two leaders who can call the tune. That's me and Alex Salmond. So let's have the debate.
Mr. Speaker, he says it is all about leadership. He says it is about him and me.
Order. Nobody in the House of Commons, the government chief whip shouldn't be smirking about it, it's not a laughing matter. Nobody in the House... Order. Nobody in the House of Commons should be shouted down. And I've got news for members. However long it takes, it is not going to happen. Members will be heard. Ed Miliband.
Mr. Speaker, these are pathetic, feeble excuses. Can we now take it that there are no circumstances that he will debate me head-to-head between now and the general election?
We've had 4 years of debates and we found out he's got no policies, he's got no plan, he's got no team, he's got no clue of running the country. But the truth, Mr. Speaker, is this: Labour are now saying they cannot win the election. Here is the leaflet they put out in Scotland. I think the SNP might be interested in this. At the general election, we need to stop the Tories being the largest party. They're not trying to win, they're just trying to crawl through the gates of Downing Street on the coattails of the SNP. So what he's got to do is prove that he's not a chicken and rule that out.
Yeah, there's only one person preparing for defeat, and it's this Prime Minister. Now, he's not going to be able to wriggle off this. This is what he said. This is what he said before the last general election. He said this: "We have the opportunity to debate at Prime Minister's questions, but that is a very different matter to a proper television debate during a general election campaign." And he said this: "When Parliament is not sitting and when people will be most receptive to engaging in political discussion." Now, Mr. Speaker, we know he lost to the Deputy Prime Minister last time. Why doesn't he just cut out the feeble excuses and admit the truth? He's worried he might lose again.
Quite amazing. He wants to talk about the future of a television programme. I want to talk about the future of the country. Four questions, 3 weeks to go. He can't talk about jobs because we're growing jobs. He can't talk about unemployment because unemployment's plummeting. He can't talk about inflation because it's at a record low. The truth is, he's weak and despicable and wants to crawl to power in Alex Salmond's pocket.
Mr. Speaker, if he's so confident, why is he chickening out of the debates with me? Everyone can see it. And Mr. Speaker, I'll tell you why this matters. Because it goes to his character. Because the public will see through his feeble excuses. Instead of these ridiculous tactics, why doesn't he show a bit more backbone and turn up for the head-to-head debate with me anytime, anywhere, any place?
Tell him what goes to character. Someone who is prepared to crawl into Downing Street in alliance with people who want to break up the future of our country. What a despicable and weak thing to do. Risking our defences, risking our country, risking our United Kingdom. If he had an ounce of courage, he'd rule it out.
There's only one person who's a risk to the integrity of the United Kingdom, and it's this useless Prime Minister.
That question will be heard. The noise calculatedly being made by some members on both sides of the House is a disgrace to the House of Commons. The right honourable gentleman will be heard, and the Prime Minister will be heard. That is the end of the matter. Ed Miliband.
Speaker, there's only one person who's a risk to the integrity of our country, and that is this Prime Minister. And on the head-to-head debates, we've learnt something about him, Mr. Speaker, because like all bullies, when the heat's really on, he runs for cover.
He's been offered a debate and he won't take it. Any time, any place, anywhere, but he won't take it. The truth is, they've got nothing to say on policy, nothing to say on the economy. The only way into Downing Street is on Alex Salmond's coattails. It is an alliance between the people who want to bankrupt Britain and the people who want to break up Britain, and the British people will never have it.